What's up, Wrestle Scope Nation? You're not going to believe what went down on Monday Night Raw this week. And I'm telling you right now, if you think WWE has lost its edge, if you think the product is predictable, think again. Because what I'm about to show you is going to flip everything you thought you knew about this storyline completely upside down. Before we dive into absolute chaos, make sure you smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell because we're breaking down the most shocking moment in recent Raw history. And trust me, you do not want to miss a single second of this video. Now, let me ask you something. When was the last time WWE made your jaw drop? When was the last time you actually stood up from your couch, pointed at the screen, and screamed "no way" at your TV? Because Monday night, during what was supposed to be a heated confrontation between Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul, you know, the YouTube star turned legitimate WWE superstar, everything went completely off the rails in a way that nobody saw coming. Picture this. Rey Mysterio, the legendary master of the 619, face-to-face with Logan Paul, the social media mogul who's been running his mouth for weeks. The tension is thick. The crowd is electric. Security is struggling to keep these two apart. And then, out of nowhere, a masked attacker storms the ring and absolutely decimates Rey Mysterio with a brutality we haven't seen in years. But here's where it gets insane. Here's where WWE might have just made the biggest mistake or the most genius move of the entire year. Because the identity of this masked attacker, it's going to make you question everything. Drop a comment right now and tell me who you think is under that mask, because I guarantee your first guess is wrong. Let me take you back to the beginning of this saga, because to understand the magnitude of what happened, you need to understand just how personal this feud between Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul has become. For the past month, Logan Paul has been on an absolute tear. Ever since his incredible match at Crown Jewel, he's been claiming that he's the greatest high flyer in WWE history. Yeah, you heard that right. Logan Paul, with barely 3 years in the business, has been disrespecting legends like Rob Van Dam, Jeff Hardy, and most egregiously, Rey Mysterio, the man who invented modern lucha libre in WWE. Rey, being the humble legend that he is, tried to take the high road. He congratulated Logan on his success, he acknowledged his athleticism, but Logan kept pushing. He called Rey washed up. He said the 619 was outdated. He even had the audacity to mock Rey's mask, calling it a Halloween costume for a man living in the past. That was the final straw. 2 weeks ago on Raw, Rey Mysterio challenged Logan Paul to a match. Not just any match, a mask versus pride match, where if Rey loses, he has to publicly admit that Logan Paul is the better high flyer. The disrespect was palpable, and the WWE Universe was furious. Last week, things escalated when Logan Paul attacked Rey's son, Dominic Mysterio, during a backstage segment. Now, I know Dominic has his own issues with his father. The whole Judgment Day situation is still messy, but even Dominic looked shook when Logan laid him out with a super kick. For a brief moment, we saw a flicker of the old father-son connection, and it was heartbreaking. This set the stage for Monday night. Rey demanded a face-to-face confrontation with Logan Paul in the middle of the ring. No match, just words. Just two men settling their differences before their inevitable collision at the Royal Rumble. But WWE had other plans. Monday Night Raw, 9:47 Eastern. The moment that will be replayed for years. Rey Mysterio's music hits and the crowd erupts. The master of the 619 walks down that ramp with purpose. You can see it in his eyes. This isn't just about wrestling anymore. This is about legacy. This is about respect. This is about proving that legends don't fade, they endure. Rey gets in the ring, grabs the microphone, and before he can even speak, Logan Paul's music hits, and out comes the Maverick, flanked by his entourage, that smug grin plastered across his face. The crowd is booing him out of the building, but Logan, he's eating it up. He thrives on this energy. Logan gets in the ring and the two men are nose to nose. The tension could be cut with a knife. Security rushes to the ring, creating a barrier between them, but you can feel that this is about to explode. Rey speaks first. He tells Logan that he's disrespected not just him, but everyone who paved the way for high flyers in this business. He talks about Eddie Guerrero, his late best friend. He talks about the sacrifices he's made, the injuries he's endured, all to entertain the WWE universe. And then he says something powerful. "You may have millions of followers, Logan, but in this ring, you will never have my respect until you earn it." The crowd goes absolutely insane. Logan, microphone in hand, just laughs. He tells Rey that respect is for people who can't achieve greatness on their own. He said that while Rey was jumping off ladders for cheers, he was building an empire. He was making millions, and now he's going to take the one thing Rey has left, his legacy, and bury it at the Royal Rumble. Rey snaps. He shoves the security guards aside and gets right in Logan's face. Logan shoves back. The security can't hold them anymore. They start brawling. Fists are flying. The crowd is on their feet. This is pure, unfiltered chaos. Referees and officials flood the ring trying to separate them. They finally manage to pull Rey and Logan to opposite corners. Both men are being held back, shouting at each other across the ring. The segment seems like it's about to end. And then the lights flicker. A hooded figure appears at the top of the ramp. The crowd gasps. The figure is wearing all black, face completely covered by a mask. Not just any mask, a haunting skeletal lucha libre mask that seems to glow under the arena lights. The figure sprints to the ring with terrifying speed. Before anyone can react, before security can respond, the masked attacker slides into the ring and makes a beeline straight for Rey Mysterio. What happens next is brutal. The masked attacker hits Rey with a devastating running knee that sends him crashing into the corner. Logan Paul backs away, just as shocked as everyone else. The attacker doesn't stop. They hit Rey with a vicious powerbomb, then another and another. The crowd is screaming. Officials are trying to pull the attacker off, but they're moving with such rage, such precision, that nobody can get close. Finally, the attacker hits Rey with a brutal finishing move, a package piledriver that leaves Rey motionless in the center of the ring. The masked attacker stands over Rey's broken body, staring down at him with what can only be described as pure hatred. Then, slowly, methodically, they exit the ring and disappear through the crowd, leaving everyone in absolute shock. Logan Paul stands in the corner, hands on his head, looking just as confused as the rest of us. Medical staff rush to Rey's aid. The show cuts to commercial, but the damage is done. Okay, let's break this down because there are so many layers to what just happened. First, the obvious question. Who is the masked attacker? Social media has been blowing up with theories, and I've got some thoughts that might blow your mind. Theory number 1. It's Dominic Mysterio. Think about it. Dominic has been at odds with his father for a year now. He's with the Judgment Day, he's rejected the Mysterio legacy, and he's made it clear that he wants to step out of Rey's shadow. What better way to do that than to take out Rey in the most brutal way possible? The height and build of the attacker match Dominic perfectly. Plus, attacking Rey when Logan Paul is there creates the perfect cover. Everyone assumes it's related to Logan, when in reality, it's personal. Theory number 2, it's Santos Escobar. Remember, Santos has history with Rey. They've had incredible matches, and Santos has always positioned himself as the future of Lucha Libre in WWE. Maybe Santos is tired of living in Rey's shadow. Maybe he believes that to truly ascend, he needs to destroy the legend. The mask could be symbolic, representing the weight of Mexican wrestling tradition that Santos feels has held him back. And this is the wildest one. It's someone from Rey's past, someone who has a grudge from years ago. Could it be someone we haven't seen in WWE for a long time? Could WWE be bringing back a forgotten rival to settle an old score? The methodical nature of the attack, the specific targeting of Rey, suggests this is deeply personal. But here's what really gets me. Did you notice Logan Paul's reaction? He looked genuinely shocked. Either Logan is the world's best actor, which, let's be honest, he might be, or he had nothing to do with this attack, which means this masked attacker has their own agenda. And that's what makes this so compelling. This isn't just about Rey versus Logan anymore. There's a third player in this game, and they might be the most dangerous one of all. The online community is divided. Some think WWE is making a mistake by adding another layer to this feud. Others think this is exactly the kind of unpredictable storytelling that's been missing from WWE programming. Me, I think this could be the start of something legendary if they stick the landing. Let's talk about what this means moving forward because the implications are massive. First, Rey Mysterio's Royal Rumble match with Logan Paul just got infinitely more complicated. Is Rey even going to be cleared to compete? WWE's medical team pulled him from the arena on a stretcher, which suggests this injury angle is serious. If Rey can't compete, does Logan win by forfeit? Does WWE postpone the match? Or do they do something crazy like make it a 3-threat with the masked attacker? Second, this opens up huge storytelling possibilities for Dominic Mysterio. If the attacker is Dominic, this is the kind of heel turn that defines careers. It would cement Dominic as one of the most despicable villains in WWE, and it would give us the father-son match we've all been waiting for on the biggest stage possible, WrestleMania. If it's not Dominic, then where does he factor into all this? Does he come to his father's aid? Does he use this as an opportunity to finally reconcile with Rey? Or does he remain with Judgment Day and watch his father suffer from the sidelines? Third, and this is important, Roman Reigns. Yes, the tribal chief, because on SmackDown we saw Drew McIntyre join forces with what's being called the Vision alongside Roman Reigns. This alliance changes everything about the WWE landscape. If Raw is descending into chaos with masked attackers and personal vendettas, SmackDown is building toward an empire. The balance of power in WWE has never been more unstable. Could there be a connection? Could this masked attacker somehow be linked to the larger power struggle happening across WWE? It seems far-fetched, but remember, in WWE, everything is connected. Every storyline, every attack, every betrayal is part of a larger tapestry. So where does this leave us, Wrestle Scope Nation? We've got Rey Mysterio laid out, possibly injured, his Royal Rumble match in jeopardy. We've got Logan Paul, who's now dealing with forces beyond his control. We've got a mysterious masked attacker whose identity could change everything. And we've got a WWE universe that is more engaged, more invested, and more fired up than we've been in months. This is why we watch wrestling. Not for the predictable outcomes, not for the safe storytelling, but for moments like these. Moments that make us feel something, that make us debate, that make us come together as a community and speculate about what's coming next. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment right now and tell me, who do you think is the masked attacker? Is it Dominic? Is it Santos Escobar? Is it someone from Rey's past? Or is it someone we haven't even considered yet? What do you think happens at Royal Rumble? Does Rey recover in time? Does the masked attacker reveal themselves before the match? How does Logan Paul factor into all of this? And most importantly, do you think WWE can pull this off, or are they about to drop the ball on what could be the storyline of the year? Hit that like button if this breakdown got you hyped. Subscribe and turn on notifications because we'll be covering every single development in this story as it unfolds. And share this video with your wrestling friends because this is the conversation everyone needs to be having. I'm your host, and this is Wrestle Scope, where we don't just watch wrestling, we analyze it, we dissect it, and we celebrate it. Until next time, keep your eyes on the ring because in WWE, you never know what's coming next. Stay scoped in, Nation. We'll see you in the next one.